Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest, strangest puzzles of our time. In a world where we have billions of connections right at our fingertips, why do so many of us feel lonelier than ever before?
This line from the Prime Life Project podcast just nails it. It's the perfect way to describe what we're all feeling. We're living in this paradox, right? Our social media feeds are bursting with activity, but somehow our lives can feel incredibly empty.
And get this. A recent study found something that, honestly, it just blew my mind. Executives, the people we think of as being the most connected, surrounded by teams and contacts all day, they report being 61% lonelier than people who are unemployed. Just let that sink in for a second. How is that even possible? What is really going on here?
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to unpack this whole paradox. How did we build a world that's so focused on connection only to end up with what feels like an epidemic of isolation?
I mean, we've got endless ways to communicate, right? Social media, texting, video calls, you name it. But as a study called Traces of Technology points out, all this hyperconnectivity isn't leading to deeper emotional well-being. In fact, for a lot of us, it's actually doing the exact opposite.
But here's the thing. It wasn't supposed to be this way. Not at all. Let's just rewind for a second and remember what the original promise of our digital world actually was.
The dream was incredible, wasn't it? Technology was going to completely erase distance. You could talk to anyone, anywhere on the planet in an instant. The idea was to build these amazing virtual communities and create support networks that just weren't possible before. And look, in a lot of ways, it actually worked.
But that amazing promise, it came with a hidden cost, a pretty big one. The convenience of our digital lives brought a whole new set of dangers, and we're only now starting to realize the incredibly high price we pay for something as simple as a like.
This right here, this really breaks down the trade-off we've made. We've gained this massive quantity of connections, but we've sacrificed the quality. Think about it. Real world, face-to-face bonds give you depth, real emotional satisfaction. Digital bonds, they often give you a quick hit of relief, but it's shallow. It's the difference between an authentic friendship and just another name on your contacts list.
And hey, this isn't just a feeling or some random opinion. It is backed up by serious research. That Traces of Technology study is super clear about this. These platforms, they're literally designed for quick, fleeting interactions, not the deep, meaningful connections our brains are actually wired to need. And that's the real kicker. Scrolling through your feed might give you a little jolt of connection, right? A quick fix for that feeling of being alone, but it's kind of like eating a candy bar when you're starving. It's a snack, but what you really need is a full, nourishing meal. It just doesn't satisfy that fundamental human need we all have for genuine belonging.
Okay, so it's really easy to sit here and blame our phones, to blame the apps. But what if technology isn't the real villain in this story? This is where things get interesting, because the whole narrative is about to take a sharp turn inward. The real fight, it turns out, is happening inside our own heads.
So let's just ask the question straight up. Is technology the real enemy here, or is it just a tool that's amplifying something that was already going on inside of us to begin with?
Well, according to the Prime Life Project, the true root of the problem is so much deeper. It all comes down to what they call our hidden I am statements. The best way to think about these is like old, outdated software running in the background of your mind. They're these unspoken beliefs you have about yourself that are secretly running the show, shaping your reality without you even realizing.
So where does this junk software come from? Well, pretty much everywhere. It's the beliefs we just soaked up from our parents, the subtle messages we got from our teachers, the programming we learned from past relationships, and of course, all the expectations society piles on us. Things like, I am not interesting enough, or I am always going to be alone. See, these are the internal scripts that are the real source of self-sabotage. They're the reason you can be standing in a room full of people and feel completely, utterly alone. The problem isn't the room or the people in it, it's that internal program running on a loop telling you over and over that you just don't belong.
So if the problem is internal, it makes sense that the solution has to start there too, but it also requires us to take action. So now let's shift gears from the why this is happening to the how we can fix it with a really practical formula for forging real, deep connections.
The Prime Life Project gives us this simple but incredibly powerful tool, the 3-touch connection formula. So step 1 is initiate.
This is just about starting a brief, genuine interaction. Be curious about someone. Step 2, and this is the one most people skip, is follow-up. You reconnect with intention, maybe bring up something from that first chat. And finally, step 3 is deepen. This is where you build real trust by sharing something a little more meaningful, by showing just a bit of vulnerability.
And the goal of all this? It's really simple. It's about consciously and deliberately turning those shallow, surface-level interactions into the deep, meaningful relationships that we are all craving. It's about taking back control and intentionally building the connections you want, one conversation at a time.
So we're going to leave you with this really powerful question. Because look, understanding the problem is great, but real change only happens when we take action. So what is one small step, one first touch that you can take today, not tomorrow, but today, to start building the connections that you truly need?